Hey guys, I'm Connor, and welcome to my Gav Q&A. I didn't really do much to prepare for this. I just wrote the questions down, and but I didn't really think about the answers, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, so the first question is, if Gav could only have 3 meals to eat for the rest of his life, what would they be? Pizza, maybe like hot wings, and a salad, which I guess is a meal within itself, but those are Gav's favorite foods, so. Okay, next question is, when and how did Gav realize he was gay? I want to say probably about like middle schoolish, when he was like sort of coming into like romantic feelings anyway, and like crushes and stuff, and he sort of realized like, oh, I think my male like classmates are more attractive than my female classmates. What does this mean? And so like from there he just kind of like figured it out that sort of way. And then, is Gavin out? What was that like for him if he is, and how did his family feel? He is out. He probably came out in like sophomore year of high school, I would say. And it's been pretty good for him. I mean, his family doesn't really care. They care, but not like in a bad way. Like, they love him. His siblings love him. His parents are like, oh, that's cool, like whatever makes you happy, sort of thing. And okay, what are Gav's favorite topics to geek out about? Okay, he is a very big like art history nerd. That's his college major is art history. That's another question in here, so I'm just gonna answer it now. He's majoring in art history because he's always been interested in like art and museums, and he wants to be a museum curator when he grows up. So if anyone brings up art history, or if he has the opportunity to just go on and talk about like art or like a specific painting or painter or any sort of artist and that sort of thing, he will. And you'd kind of have to like tell him like, hey, like that's enough, or that sort of thing, because he will just go on and on and on about it and not pick up on the fact that he should stop now. It's just something that's very important to him. What's Gav's favorite movie? I think I've answered this before. I don't remember, but I know his favorite movies are Fantastic Mr. Fox and the Kingsman movie. He likes the animation of Fantastic Mr. Fox, and the Kingsman movie, I don't know, because I don't particularly love that movie. I do like it, but for it being Gav's favorite movie, I think he would like the, I don't know, he would like the characters in it and that sort of thing, but I don't know. Alright. What would Gav say his best and worst qualities are? His best qualities are how caring he is, and how like driven he can be, and like when it comes to his friends and people he cares about, he would pretty much do anything for them, and he looks at that as a best and worst quality, because in some ways like it can get him into trouble, because he will do anything he can to help people, but that could be detrimental to his own safety, and then like it can get him into trouble in ways and that sort of thing. So it's got pros and cons. For worst qualities, he's not really that great at picking up a lot of social cues, and it's like, that's fine, but for him it bothers him. And so when he meets new people, he will talk to them and be like, hey, like, if I'm doing something you don't like, please just tell me, because I won't know that you don't like it unless you outwardly tell me. And it's like, it doesn't bother people, and of course it's not a bad thing, but for Gav, he's very like self-conscious and worried about that, so that would be his personal worst quality. What's Gav like pre-round table? He's a lot feistier, because right now he is a sophomore in college, so he's had time to like mellow out and chill, and he's very like, I don't know, he's more like academic based. He's he's calmer in life, and so pre-round table he was lonely. His only like he had like friends, but his only close friend was his roommate Drew. And so he was lonely, like quiet, wished he had people to talk to and that sort of thing. But he also, like in high school pre-round table, he got into fights a lot because he had like anger that he didn't know what to do with, which he figured out like how to manage more in college. But younger Gav was like ready to put up his dukes a lot of the time, which is funny to think about because now he's like calm. He's like the like caretaker of the group, I guess. But yeah, so young Gav was a sight to behold. If Gavin is a lifeguard, does he do competitive swim? He did in high school. That was like his thing. He's always been a swimmer. He still swims, but not competitively anymore. He wanted to stay away from it in college because it was a thing that if he did competitive swim in college, he felt too pressured for it, because in high school it was a lot of fun for him, and he knew he was good like in his division, but going into college there's a lot more competition, and he didn't want his life to be swim basically, but he didn't want to leave the pool, so he got a job as a lifeguard at his university. So yes, he's a competitive swimmer, but he doesn't do it competitively anymore. Who are Gav's favorite and least favorite kids? Well, his least favorite is Merle. Gav and Merle don't get along. They've never gotten along. Just from the beginning, they have not clicked. They don't like each other. That's just how it is. But he pretty much likes everyone else. His favorites are probably, he really likes Kyle. He really likes Gail. And his favorite is probably a tie between Hattie and AJ. He loves AJ. And Hattie, like, how can you not love Hattie? She's just like this little ball of sunshine, and Gav like absolutely adores that in her, especially since like when they met, he just like clicked with her and he loves her. And then I guess following that is, what are your favorite Gav ships? Okay, so no ships in Suh Sire right now are canon. That's just how it is. These are just my personal, that I like, but there's no canon ships, so don't take my word for anything. But I think Gail and Gav are really funny, like, together, but more as friends. I don't think they would really work out together romantically. They wouldn't work. But as friends, they're really good together, and I adore their relationship so much. But I guess, like, my favorite ship for Gav romantically would probably be Gavin and AJ, because AJ is his, like, best friend out of all the knights, and they work together very well. And also their ship name would be GayJ, which is really funny, and I like it. But yeah, so that's my favorite ship for Gav, and I haven't really talked to Jenny about it, so I don't know what Jenny's feelings are on it, but that's how I feel about it. Okay, what was Gav's childhood like? He had a pretty decent childhood. I mean, it was good. There was nothing super special about it. He has a 17-year-old sister named Rosie, and a 12-year-old brother named Joseph. And so growing up, he took care of them because both of his parents work, but they're around. His mom is a florist, and a lot of his childhood, when he wasn't like at school or swimming or that sort of thing, he would spend time like in her flower shop, which is really cute. I love thinking about that because he loves flowers, and he would be like now something he would be good at is like arranging flowers, but it's like his hidden talent, you know? So that's Gav. And then how much of yourself and your life do you project onto Gavin? Not much, honestly. Maybe, yeah, not much. He is a sophomore in college, and I just finished my sophomore year of college, so there's that. And so I guess my like experience as someone in college, like I'm projecting that onto him, but I'm also, yeah, that's probably it. He's very nice, which I am, but for the most part, his personality is not something that comes from me, if that makes sense. And then, did it take a long time to create him? It took me about a week to create him. I figured out his design really fast. Like, I drew his design in about, like, a day and decided that's what I want him to look like. But it took me a while to completely, like, flesh out his personality and stuff, because I decided, like, okay, I want to look up and, like, find information about Sir Gawain that I can put into Gav's character that would make sense, and not, like that would make sense in a present setting. So it took about a week of, like, researching and that sort of thing to create him fully. And then we're hitting 11 minutes, so I'm gonna figure out what my favorite question on the back of this page is and answer that, and then be done, because I don't want to keep rambling. Okay. Which knight does Gav want to get to know better? Okay. I think definitely Ben. He would be very interested in Ben and, like, what Ben does, because Ben is very into, like, video games and that sort of thing, and that's not something Gav is very good at, but he would find it super interesting. And also, he really enjoys Ben's personality and, like, hanging out with him, so he'd be like, oh, I need to, like, get to know this kid better and figure out, like, what he likes and stuff, because I want to be friends with him. And so he would have, like, he would make a huge effort to, like, hang out with Ben and be Ben's friend, because he's just, like, he adores that kid. And and yeah, so that was my Q&A about Gavin. If you guys want any more, like, information about Suh Sire or anything like that, I will put some links and stuff where you can figure it out down below, and then you can look it up. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed.